And hello, all. This is Lala Madness, and you're tuning in to another episode of the Fierce Review. And you know where to reach me at basically on all social media platforms at Lala Madness. And also check out my videos on YouTube. And I now have podcasts that are available on Spotify and also Anchor. And if you want to email me, you can email me at lmfiercereview@gmail.com. And in this episode, we'll actually be talking about Wendy Williams, who finally opens up about why she was in a sober house, which is pretty much an update to previous shows that I've done on the Wendy Williams situation with, the husband, the baby, the sober house, blah, 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 blah. So as you remember, I did previously state that there would be more to it, I felt, about her being in the sober house than her just having a drug problem. So we'll get right into it, and I'll give you all the details, or the latest details rather, because I'm sure it's going to be more to unfold, and therefore there'll be more updates. So remember back in March, she actually stated that she was living in a sober house, but she announced on the show, which we knew, or I knew rather, that no, it's a lot more to it than that. So, actually, she stated that it was pretty much about drugs and alcohol, and it was pretty much about the same time that the news had broke about her husband, Kevin Hunter, having a mistress who they had actually been following around and catching them in certain situations for the last year or two prior to that. So the news of the pregnant mistress came out, and then you all of a sudden went to a sober house. Okay. So on August the 26th, she actually did an interview, which was just the other day, with the New York Times. The New York Times. And she stated that it was actually due to her husband's mistress being pregnant, and she didn't want to overdo the bottle of wine. That's what she actually stated in the interview. And as far as verbatim, I'll go ahead and read you pretty much a couple clips of what she actually said during those interviews, or the interview, because she's actually done multiple interviews since then, but I'm just pulling the one, or speaking on the one that she did with the New York Times. So she actually stated, and quote, I've done my detective work. I knew that it was about to happen, and I was like, let me go somewhere where you're not allowed to have a whole bottle of wine. When you see your husband's mistress with a burgeoning belly, and you're a blabbermouth on TV with a successful show, you know what's about to happen. I need to get to some quiet place. Okay, so thank you. And so basically, in another statement, she also said my husband was about to have a baby, and I knew that I was about to divorce. So she stated right there that she knew that the divorce was pretty much about to happen, and everything had pretty much come to a head at that point. Like, how long can you continue to hide what was going on when it had already been in the media and in news sources way prior to that? Like I said, a year or two prior to that. So now that it's the whole pregnant thing, there's no way to really hide that. You can hide, oh no, that's made up. He's not really blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to actually a whole baby, though, a whole life, sperm and egg has connected now. Now we have a whole nother situation that you have to kind of either speak on or remove yourself from. So, and she also stated, I knew that there would be headlines and I had to process it. So once I came out, she came out on top, basically. And she said she didn't work for 3 decades to land at the bottom over some shit like this. So, she's been in radio for about 30 years or so, like she said, about 3 decades. And she has the husband that she's been married to for 20 years. And they have a 19-year-old son, which they call Little Kevin, but Kevin Jr. pretty much. Now, unfortunately, this baby is actually born at this time, and now she did announce that it's a girl, which has to hurt because they have little Kevin. She did speak on, I know previously in the past, about some miscarriages, or a miscarriage, at least one, that she had, I believe, prior to little Kevin. So now he actually has a girl because they didn't have any more kids. They just have the one. So that's got to be a stinger. But then at the end of the day, after 20 years of marriage, 30 years in the game, you have the 19-year-old son, which little Kevin and big Kevin, as she likes to call him, they actually had a fight and has been having their own issues and been going back and forth to court and whatnot about the fight that they had at a whole ass grocery store or in a shopping mall somewhere a couple months ago. So that's all pretty much spilling over into her family life, which it is a family situation, but it's kind of getting bigger than just her and Big Kevin at this point. Now, if you remember during the show announcement on the show, when she did come out and say that she was rather living in a sober house, she had brought up her previous drug use by stating that she never got treatment for her cocaine use and alcoholism in the past. Okay. And she was hoping to try to help somebody and blah, 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 blah. Which, like I said, it all came out now, or she's speaking of it in bits and pieces at this moment about what really happened. Your ass went there because you you knew that all this was going to be out and you wanted to jump in front of it, or at least remove yourself before you filed for divorce. Okay, because she did file for divorce on April 11th after this 20-year marriage. But I guess this was the last damn straw. No matter what he had did up until now, they had to fake the facade. But you can't fake the facade when a whole ass baby is here. So that's pretty much how that went down. Okay. Now moving on, she has a new man. She also has a Lifetime biopic that's getting ready to come out. Pretty much of the deal of this whole situation. So she's using it now, like she said, get in front of it. And I told y'all in the last video about Wendy Williams that the reason she was going to the sober house was for her PR and her agents, as long as with her lawyers and her whatever else, the whole squad needed to come up with a way to get in front of this whole thing and to make good use out of it. She's going to make some money off of it. Lifetime going to pay for the rights to all her little juicy tea. It's going to be out everywhere else. It's probably going to be a book deal and some more stuff to come out of this as well. If Lifetime picked it up, because you know they pick up the corniest of life movies. They do. They get a movie on everybody's life story that they possibly can. And now since she has enough tea besides just having the Wendy Williams show and coming out of radio, because they wasn't thinking about doing a movie with your ass prior to this. Now this is out. And now she's going to be basically making money off of it because she's still going through the separation of assets with Kevin and things like that. So this is going to be something that she's going to be getting of her own that she's probably not going to have to share because they're going to pay her for all the juicy tea that she refused to tell any of us since this has been going on. Okay. Basically, she wasn't going to be talking for free. We all want to know what was happening, what was going on, how was it going down, how she really felt about it. And was it really true that the chick was pregnant? Now she's admitting it's a girl. She's admitting that it wasn't that she just had a whole drug problem. She basically, okay, she did say something about she wanted to stay away from the bottle of wine and not drink it all and go back into alcoholism and blah, blah, blah. But it really was just what we thought. It was pretty much, or what I thought rather. I don't know if y'all thought it, but I thought it. I thought it was to get in front of the story, and that's pretty much what it was. Okay, and the only reason that she probably talking now is so that she can promote the new movie and whatever other deal she has that's coming behind this whole fucked up situation. Pretty much, in a nutshell. She not talking for free. I'm sure there'll be more juicy details coming along with the rest of it. And I guess we'll be sitting back waiting and watching because she talks about people's business all day and she's made a life or career basically out of it. So you should be able to know as well as your PR team should be able to know how to spin it into benefiting you, which is exactly what she's doing now. And that's all I have on that. Let me know. Drop your comments. Also, like I said, email me lmfiercereview@gmail.com and follow me on all social media platforms at Lala Madness. Mwah.